Live from Västra, Sweden, exclusive on YouTube. Fight Club Rush presents 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. And in the blue corner tonight, he makes his debut, weighing in at 77.3 kilograms. Fighting out of Denmark, Rick Kangia Mikkelsen. And his opponent in the red corner with a record of 1 defeat, weighing in at 77.3 kilograms. Fighting out of Västra, Sweden, Alexander Lindgren. Your referee in charge of the action, Reben Saber.
Reben Light Saber in charge of his first bout here on YouTube for Fight Club Rush 9. And these are 2 huge welterweights. Both are former middleweights, actually. Have since moved down a division. But seeing Lindgren next to his heavyweight teammate, Nermin Haydarpasic, they almost look to be the same size.
Yeah, 2 real powerful guys here. You can see it at the weigh-ins, and then again today.
There is a first takedown attempt. I was expecting that somewhat. Mikkelsen, he does like that overhand to double leg takedown combo, but I'm sure that is something that Lindgren and his team have been working on. Oh, nicely done there, just basically picking the leg out from underneath Lindgren, but he's posturing up well, and there he gets the takedown. Some cage work here from Lindgren, using the cage as his ally. Oh, and
that's locked in.
He's got a Darce, I believe.
Yeah, it's a Darce, and it's...
Oh, yeah, that does look tight.
Mikkelsen.
But he's not exactly in an ideal position now. It was in a better position earlier. I think he might abandon it.
Yeah, nice work to
Unless
move that elbow.
Now he's got... But look, that he didn't manage to hook the leg, though. He would prefer to... Or most people would prefer to hook the leg to basically use that as extra leverage.
Yeah, Mikkelsen doing a good job of making space there, pushing away the elbow. He's got good knees, too. Ooh, that was a groin shot.
Ooh, nice knee there to the head, making up for things.
And Mikkelsen definitely wants this on the ground. That's his game plan here.
Yes, he does have some great ground and pound. If you see his amateur fights, it almost is at times like he prefers ground and pound over the actual grappling position. I've seen him more or less abandon top position in favor of posturing up from the standing position and just raining down shots. So you definitely don't want him on top of you.
This is definitely giving Lindgren a lot of confidence here, defending these takedowns, getting close with the submission.
Yeah, because he started off nicely on the feet, a nice strong leg kick followed up with some solid jabs. And of course, Lindgren, he does have some very impressive wins, but we've seen here at Fight Club Rush from his amateur days. He steamrolled Mohammed Hamid and Vincent Peterson. And Mikkelsen looking a little bit, not necessarily fatigued, but just like he, perhaps that first adrenaline dump took a bit of a toll.
And he's got to rethink his game plan. I don't think takedowns is the path to victory, at least early.
Yeah, or he might need to disguise it at least a little bit, mix up his game, because right now he's shown his hand, he's shown what he wants, and there we had that overhand right double leg takedown combo that he enjoys so much. And look,
that's tight. That is tight.
But now it's from side control. It's more or less impossible getting a guillotine there, unless you just have an unearthly squeeze. Nice knee there from Mikkelsen as well.
It's been nice for both these fighters to throw knees to the head now that they're in the pro ranks here. So first time doing that for both.
Yes, absolutely. And Lindgren, he has quite a few impressive wins under his belt as an amateur as well. He submitted Eddie Olsen of Red Line Training Center last year. He's also got 2 wins over Adis Saljevic, who was one of the most experienced amateur fighters in the middleweight division.
That's a clean takedown. Finally got Alexander's back to the mat there, but he's not going to sit still very long.
Exactly. I mean, so far, I do think that Lindgren has done very well defensively. Even though he hasn't necessarily stopped every single takedown, he still manages to get up back to his feet quite nicely. Oh, nice reversal there from Alexander Lindgren.
Classic switch. I mean, the effort that Rick is putting into these takedowns, it's really got to be wearing him down.
Yes, absolutely. I am, because I do suspect this will go to a second round, and I wonder how fresh Mikkelsen will be heading into that.
Alexander pushing forward here. I think you're right, Sebastian. I think Mikkelsen may be tiring a little bit already.
Yeah, I think he was just putting too much into those takedowns. Also, I mean, he's here in his opponent's hometown, making his pro debut on a big show like Fight Club Rush. Oh, just missed that head kick to Alexander Lindgren.
Good idea to go for something big as the bell rings here.
Absolutely, I do. I love it when fighters do that, when they seize the opportunity, because you don't want to necessarily throw a high kick just willy-nilly, however, but when you know that there's a little bit of time left and you won't necessarily get as punished for it, I say go for it. Go for those spinning back kicks. Go for those hook kicks. Do it.
It's a free shot. You already had the round wrapped up. That was a clear round for the Swede.
Yes, I am very much inclined to agree. Despite Mikkelsen's pressure and his momentary takedowns, it really was Lindgren accomplishing much more of what he wanted to do. And he looks very calm. Whereas if you look in the Danish corner here, a little bit more urgency, it seems like.
Yeah, Martin first making sure that Rick is taking some deep breaths here. And he must be shaking out his arms. You could see that his arms were tiring as he's going for each takedown.
And I do think some of that might just be, just the factors of, making your pro debut on a show like this against a hometown hero. It can definitely be a little bit daunting. I asked Lindgren about he always seems to end up in these sort of feud-ish matches. His team, Västerås Fight Club, do have a rivalry with those fighting in Gävle, who Christian Stigenberg represented, and now it's Denmark versus Sweden. Oh, nice high kick there. Not quite on target, but close. Oh, and there we have the spinning back kick from Lindgren, and he's on the hunt. He is on the hunt. He must be feeling good. Oh, nice. See, he waited with that uppercut and got in some nice shots there as well. He was expecting the takedown for Mikkelsen, was Lindgren. And he showed him with that uppercut that you cannot get too reckless with those takedown attempts.
Yeah, that was nice. He just sat on it, waited for the takedown.
He knew it was coming. I mean, he's got a high fight IQ, I would say, Lindgren. When he doesn't get into those wild exchanges that I would say are, a little bit too reckless, he is a very cerebral fighter.
I think Mikkelsen's almost baiting him to do these takedowns. It takes so much energy because he can just keep on popping up. I don't think he minds them. He knows they're going to pay off in the long term.
Yes. All right, Lindgren working on, gets double underhooks, and he will probably be separating shortly.
The Lindgren's pretty good with knees. I've seen him use them quite often in the body. It seems he doesn't need them here to get on top in a real good position. He's got back here.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Just powering down his opponent, did Lindgren there.
Mikkelsen is still holding on to that single leg, trying to finish it, but you're getting your head pushed away like that. And
oh, that was a strike to the back of the head.
Back of the head. It's a bit harder to do. I like how he's using the cage there. Should be able to pull that leg just straight up. Yeah, Rick really fighting for this takedown.
And it's very demotivating when you're sort of putting your all into a certain technique and it's just not paying off.
Oh, sneaky front headlock.
Yeah, I like it. And there is the knee. Ganja looks tired.
Yeah, the tide feels like it's turning here.
Yeah, oh, I like that leg kick. That was very nice. When your opponent's back, oh, great sprawl. Once again, the takedown attempt recognized.
I think we're going to see a Darce choke. It's been locked in before. I feel like we're watching parts of the first round. And Mikkelsen's going to push around the elbow again. It's been successful for him, and he's out. But not out of trouble.
Oh, look at that. Now he's got a little bit of a single, but it's, again, it's more really, it's stalling position really than it is accomplishing proper offense, I would say, for Mikkelsen.
Oh, no arm choke. That
might very well.
If he can push him up against the cage.
Oh, that was a hard
This is going to be
knee.
over.
Mikkelsen goes down.
Oh, Robin Saber nearly jumped in to stop the fight
Yeah.
there.
I think this fight is close to being finished.
Those knees did a lot of damage.
Absolutely.
I don't think Mikkelsen's going to be here long. They're going to stop this. Alexander could just pound this out. He's that close.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he realizes how hurt Mikkelsen is.
I mean, those two knees were vicious.
I'm surprised that Lindgren continuously is going for this sort of Darce choke lockup, but considering it's not really paying off, some nice hammer fists there.
With only 30 seconds, I think this corner should be pushing him to really go for why he goes for this submission. But with Mikkelsen hurt, maybe he can finally lock it in. If he puts his hips into this, and there's the tap.
Oh, there's a tap!
There it is. Wow.
Second round submission for Alexander Lindgren. Submits the Danish fighter Rick Mikkelsen, and what a feeling for Lindgren. Getting that victory here in his hometown, returning to the win column. That was fantastic stuff. That was one-way traffic from the huge Swedish welterweight, Alexander Lindgren.
Real impressive performance there, all around, on the ground, standing, and the finish.
Yeah, I mean, he was just never in any danger. I mean, no matter the offense thrown his way, he just was cool as a cucumber. And that is why he got the victory. And we will hand it off to the Welsh wonder Ricky Wright for the official results.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ruben Saber will stop the contest at 4 minutes and 38 seconds of round number 2. For your winner by Darce choke, Alexander Lindgren!
All right, I'm here with your winner, Alexander Lindgren, getting the submission here in your hometown of Västerås. And finally, your first pro win. How are you feeling, buddy? Can you put it into words?
Oh, it feels good. I don't know what else to say. It feels fantastic. Fucking fantastic.
And obviously, your pro debut did not go your way, but this was one-way traffic. You would never really seem to be in any danger. You defended his takedowns perfectly, and on the feet, it was all Lindgren. How do you feel about your performance?
Felt good. A bit stiff, and I got stuck in some positions, but overall, I'm really happy. I got the finish, so, and I did some damage as well. So.
Yeah, specifically those knees in the second round that dropped him. We were a little bit surprised that you didn't go for more ground and pound, but in the end, the Darce choke, you went for it several times. I think it would maybe been 6th or 7th time the charm. Did you know that you had it the last time you locked it in?
Yeah, I felt it go in a little bit deeper, I think, that time. And he was tired, so it's always easier. But I tried to finish him with the ground and pound, but I felt he covered up and kept moving, so I didn't get off any hard shots. So it felt better to go for the submission.
Well, your instincts served you right. You came out of this with a second round submission. You looked fantastic. You don't seem to have any injuries. We know that Fight Club Rush has another event lined up for November. Can we see you there?
For sure. For sure. You can see me there. I don't know against who, but you'll see me there.
All right, well, welterweights, come at it. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Alexander Lindgren.